Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I am Coach Williams, Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, your victory coach and the founder of Wise Wives Build. And we are here for Momentum Monday, where we come out here on Monday to give you that boost, give you that encouragement, to provoke you to action, right? Because I believe that we can start this week strong and end this week even stronger. Okay, so we're going to jump right in this morning. We won't be before you long, and we're just going to, jump right in, dig deeper. Okay, last week we found out that we were literally halfway through the year, right? And yay you for making it halfway through the year. And listen, it doesn't matter if you can look at it. Listen, I need you to look at it to say, look, this cup is half full. We've completed half of the race. And so now it's time for you to dig deeper, right? Yesterday I was walking around my house, and that song "Good Morning to Keisha," that song was kind of running through my head. If you watched The Princess Bride, that song that says "Dig a little deeper," right? And I was like, okay, Lord, what are you trying to say to us as it pertains to this whole concept of digging deeper? And I came across this quote, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger says this: trust yourself, dig deep down, and ask yourself who you want to be, not what, but who. And I thought that was very interesting, because many times when people ask us, they ask you what you want to be, right? What you want to be. They don't ask you who do you want to be. They don't ask you how do you want to show up. They don't ask you that, because when we look at the conversation, have the conversation concerning it, you'll say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an author, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be all of those things. But now it's time that we have to dig a little deeper to find out who we want to be. I want to be kind. I want to be loving. I want to be these characteristics as it pertains to who God created you to be, right? I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be any of these things. And so that requires us to dig deeper. That requires us to go deeper than we have been before. We have to go deeper to find out what are those things that have been holding us back, what are those things that have been keeping us from walking in the freedom that has been allotted to us. What are those things that keep you from stepping out of the boat, Peter, that God has already told you that you're supposed to be walking on water, walking into the impossible, doing the things that you've never done before, but you won't get out of the boat. Why? It's time to dig deeper. It's time to get to the root of the problem. And guess what? That can be scary. I'm not going to tell you that that's not scary. I'm not going to tell you that when God says dig deeper, that you may not find some things that, make you kind of take your breath away, or make you kind of look and be like, ooh, I don't know about that. But you have to get to the point in the in Changing Lanes with Coach Williams in the podcast last week. One of the statements that was made was this right here: the fear of what's behind you has to be greater than the fear of what's in front of you. What does that mean, coach? That means that you have to be more afraid of staying the same. You have to be more afraid of staying in the same place, the same position, doing the same thing this time next year. You got to be more afraid of that than putting one step in front of the others and going forward into what God has called you to do. And that means you got to look deeper. You got to dig deeper to find out what is that's keeping me from being able to do that. What is that thing that's keeping me from being able to move forward? What is that thing that keeps me, that almost wants to paralyze me? What is that thing that keeps me believing the lies that I've been told, right? I know some people said some things when you were a little girl, right? When you were a little boy, as you were growing up, and you have literally been trying to live that stuff down. And even though you are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, sometimes 80 years old, you still remember what that teacher told you when you was 5. What keeps you tied to that, right? And so it's time to dig deep. We got to dig deep. We got to go deeper and get an understanding, because whatever you won't face, you can't overcome. Okay. And so this is our scripture for today: Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. I want you to be strong and courageous and say, okay, today's the day. God, I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to understand. We're going to dig deep and we're going to figure this out this week. We're not going to go into another week with this insecurity. We're not going into another week with this unforgiveness. We're not going into another week feeling the way that we've been feeling, not being able to navigate this new place that you've put us in, right? We're going to be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. Don't look at what may be waiting, the them that may be waiting for you. Don't be in dread of the them that has been walking with you. Don't be in dread of the them that is in the past. Don't be afraid of them, okay? For it is who? It is the Lord your God. This is your Motivation Monday. I need you to understand it is the Lord your God who goes with you. And as long as God is with you, there's no one that can stand against you. Okay? Not listen, not another week. Don't do it. Just tell the people, listen, be prepared to be sick of me. Just prepare to be sick of me, because I'm about to show up as the authentic version of myself. I'm no longer going to play it small. I'm no longer going to shrink back. I'm no longer going to minimize what God has put in my hands. None of that. Just be prepared to be sick of me, because guess what? There's a whole world waiting for you to show up. There's somebody that's waiting for you to show up, waiting on you to open your mouth, waiting on you to go live, waiting on you to put up a post, waiting for your voice. Okay? They're waiting for you. And guess what? They're going to respond to you, right? But you have to understand you're not going by yourself. Sometimes we feel like we're going by ourselves. I don't know about you, but when you start to walk in different atmospheres and God starts to elevate you and do things, you be like, where's everybody else at? And you have to get familiar with this. Listen, you got to get familiar with this altitude, okay? You have been elevated to a higher place, and now you feel like your head's spinning, your ears are popping, you don't know what's going on. Elevation, okay? But you can't even be afraid there. You have to know that the Lord goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Listen, He will not leave you nor forsake you. So if He's brought you to this thing, if He's put this in your hand, if He's calling you to step out of into this whole new place, He's with you. He's equipped you. Hey Jerry, he listen, he got you. Right? Can we just talk? Listen, He got you. And if God is with you, listen, let me tell you something. If God is with me, listen, that's the person I need to be with me. Cause I done tried to go some places in my own strength, and you listen. My husband is a truck driver, right? So if I get lost and I don't trust the GPS, I will call my husband and I'll say, hey babe, he said, what's around you? And I have to find a landmark and I have to say, hey, I'm riding through wherever I'm riding through. I don't trust this GPS. Why? Because I trust my husband. And so I call him and I say, hey, listen, this is where I am. This is what I'm looking at. And he said, you're good. You're still going the right direction. Keep going straight. On your right hand side, you're going to see this. Because see, the GPS ain't told me none of the landmarks, but my husband can. So guess what? So when I go up the street and I see that Walmart, when I see that Target, when I see that restaurant, that gas station, whatever it is, I'm like, okay, okay, all right, we good. We're okay. And for some of you, that's what God is telling you. He's saying, I need you to be aware. I'm telling you, when you go up here, you're going to meet this person. I need you not to be afraid. I know they're a multimillionaire, but I need you not to be afraid to say good morning. I need you not to be afraid to have a conversation. I need you not to be afraid to open your mouth, because I have ordained them. I have put them in your path for a reason. I don't need you to be a fangirl that day. I need you to be you. I don't need you to be all like, oh my God, I just love. No, I need you to stand in your authority, because guess what? What if they don't have a word for you? You got a word for them. What if you are their answer? Think about that. Let's think about that, because I need y'all to dig a little deeper, because I want you to I want you to say, why can that not be me? Let's just use everybody pretty much knows who Angela Bassett is, right? What if you are in the room with Angela Bassett and God is saying, I don't want you to be a fangirl, because Angela Bassett needs what's on the inside of you. So when you walk in the room, I need you to walk in there like you belong there. And you need to walk up and you say, hello, Miss Bassett, how are you? I'm so glad to meet you. And allow the conversation to go the way it needs to go. And you're able to impart in her instead of being a fangirl or guy. So we got to dig a little deeper, because you've been sent into some rooms and you've been going in the room. God said, no, I didn't send you in the room. Yes, we glean. We're always gleaning. But sometimes we have missed a moment with God because we were supposed to deposit and you were afraid to deposit what God told you to deposit. You felt like they wouldn't receive you. You felt like you weren't good enough. Who am I to talk to XYZ? There are times where you are in a, I'm grateful for all of my mentors. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. But one of the things that I'm also grateful for is that they trust the gift and what God has put on my life. That if we walk in a room, as much as I love for them to pour into me, there are times where God is saying, speak life into them. And you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. Okay? What does the scripture tells us? Huh? What did it say? What does it say? What did we say? The Lord is with us? Yeah, He's with us. Takesha said co-pastor Goggins preached yesterday about the promotion portal and told us to stop. Oh my, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that. All right, Takesha, I listen, I'm going over to Thy Kingdom Has Come today and to be sitting under that. But listen, we gotta dig deeper, y'all. That's all I came out here to tell you today is be willing to dig deeper. Go deeper in the things of God. Go look deeper within you. Why is it that you are so afraid to step out and do what God is calling you to do? Hmm? Listen, right? No, we're not gonna do the fangirl thing. We're not doing none of that. No, we're not doing that. Okay, so dig deep, because where God is taking you to, He's going to begin to pull on you, and He's going to send you into places that you're going to be like, where am I? What if you walk in the room and then somebody walks up to you? You're going to this conference, and I never will forget Juanita Bynum. I love her story of when we all remember No More Sheets, right? That's the one. It wasn't that was her first time ministering. Okay, that was not the first time she ministered, but that's the one that put her on a national stage, and we all took notice of who she was. She was not supposed to speak that night. If you ever listen to her story, she was not supposed to speak that night on the big stage. She had a breakout session, And so everybody was talking about her. Everybody was saying this, that, and the other. Why you got all this material? You're gonna be bringing all of this stuff back, right? And you're gonna do all of this stuff. And they began to laugh at her. And she says, I don't know. I just know what God said. And so she began to move in what God has said. And she got all of this product. She got all of this stuff. And guess what? After her breakout, look, her little breakout session, she did it. She went in there. She talked to maybe 20 people like it was 20,000. And then everybody was going out to eat. And God told her to go back to your room. Go back. Right. That's the one that went viral. Go back to your room and stay in my presence. So she didn't go out with everybody else. Her assignment, as far as she knew, the assignment was over. But while she was in the room, she got the call that one of the speakers did not show up. And when the speaker didn't show up, she got the call to say, can you minister tonight? So now what she was supposed to just do a breakout session, now she's on the big stage. 2 years ago today, I hosted my very first The Great Exchange event. Something I said I would never do. I was like, no, I'm going to do Bible studies. I'm going to do smaller events. I'm going to do retreats. I'll do little sessions. And God said, listen, no, ma'am, I need you to do. I had 90 days, y'all. And we're about 90 days away from 2024 in October, okay? But I had 90 days to get everything together. And it was amazing. I'll show some pictures later on. But I had to be obedient to God. I had to dig deeper than I had ever dug before, because it's different when you're hosting a whole event. I call it a women's empowerment. It's going to be a women's empowerment weekend, okay? I said, I don't call it a conference because I don't want you to come in with the mindset of a conference that you're going to sit down and people are just going to talk to you. They're going to make you feel good. And, that's all that's going to happen. No, it's an experience. It's a women's empowerment weekend, but it's an experience. It's something I want you to be able to come in and be ready to work. I need you to be, I create spaces for you to work. I create spaces for you to get downloads. People have come in and they leave with a whole plan of attack, right? That's why we call it the war room, because you come in with what you are carrying and you make an exchange with God. You come in with questions and you leave with answers, because God exchanges your questions for answers. Hey, Kiana, thanks for being here this morning, sis. Right? And so, what if God is bringing you into that environment, right? I didn't forget what I was talking about. So you coming in and you're coming into this space, and God says, listen, you're coming to receive, and God says, I need you to pour. And so where you thought you were just coming to sit, right? You thought you were just coming for one thing, and God puts a mic in your hand. You got to be ready. This is Momentum Monday. This is the season. You got to be ready for anything. God tells you, go to your local SBA. Go to your local council meeting tonight, because I need you to be in the room. And he tells you to go in there, and he says, I just need you to go in. I need you to sit in the back, and I need you to pray the whole time this council meeting is going on. Are you willing to do that? And then before you leave, somebody comes up and says, hi, how are you? And then you begin to you shake their hands. Hi, I'm Coach Williams. I'm Jerry. I'm Kiana. I'm Takesha. How are you? I'm so glad to be here. And there's like, there's something about you. I noticed you when you walked in the room. And now you have the ear of your local council member. And sometimes it may be simply this. You know what? I'm praying for you. Now, guess what? This local council member just got their own personal intercessor. So while he's making decisions, you're on your face. Do you understand how important that is? Because sometimes we want to be the one with the mic. Maybe you're the one that's undergirding the one with the mic. I'm just saying, dig deep, y'all. Dig deeper. You got to dig deeper, right? So, because I need you to know who you want to be, not just what you want to be. What does that look like? How you want to move in this season, right? Because people say, I want to be great. What does that look like? What does that mean? In the realm of, because see, here's the thing, I don't want my name to be known on earth and not in heaven. I'm just saying. I'm gonna say that again. I don't want my name just to be known on earth and God not know me up in heaven. That's not what I want. I want my name written in the Lamb's book of life, and then I want to fulfill everything that God wants me to fulfill on earth. At the end of the day, y'all, you got to dig deep, because what it is, we want him to say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, enter in. All right? That's what it's about. And so I need you to dig deep, dig deeper. I know you just listen. You've been doing the work. I'm proud of you. This is Momentum Monday, but I just came to encourage you to dig deeper, because there is more. And what you haven't uncovered is just the tip. It's just the top. It's just that top layer. God is saying, there is more that I want. He said, there's mysteries. There are things that I want to reveal to you. All right. All right. Let me get out of here. I've been on here longer than I'm supposed to be on here today. So this has been your Momentum Monday, where we start off our week with some motivation, with that little, I just want to give you that little shot in the arm, okay? So that you can go on out and be great this week, because I want you to know this. Listen, all right? I just want you to know this. You can end this week on a high note. All you got to do is dig a little deeper, put your head down, know that God is with you, and run your race with endurance. Start strong, and even stronger. Okay? Start strong and even stronger. And if you need to contact me, please go to www.thecassandrawilliams.com. That is my email. I mean, my website. All my information is over there. You can also sign up for the Great Exchange Women's Empowerment Weekend. This will be our third year of the Great Exchange, October 11th and 12th. I'm so excited about it. Me and God had a conversation this weekend, and I was like, "So we doing this? What we doing?" He was like, "Are we?" I said, "You know what? When God asks you a question, you ask him a question. He asks you a question back. You just kind of settle into, yes, I will be obedient, and we doing this." Okay. So go to www.thecassandrawilliams.com, and you can find all information concerning the Great Exchange Women's Empowerment Weekend. If you cannot come, please consider being a sponsor to help another woman get into the room. Okay. So I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day. Also, go out and on every Wednesday, new thing, right? Every Wednesday, we have a new episode of Changing Lanes with Coach Williams. I'm so excited about this week's episode, right? So we are on episode number 2. You can still go back and watch episode number 1 and be ready for Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when it goes live. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Music. We are on Amazon Music. Listen, we're on YouTube. Won't God do it, y'all? Won't he do it? He is faithful. So dig deeper, because when he is forcing you out there, thank you to Keisha for putting that out there for me. But it's Changing Lanes. Just simply type in Changing Lanes with Coach Williams, and guess what? My face pops up. I'm celebrating. I'm honored. And I'm gonna celebrate every weekend. I am. I'm gonna celebrate every week, every episode. I'm gonna be tickled. Thank you, Jerry. This is how you get to Changing Lanes with Coach Williams, the podcast. Okay, and so that's for those of you that are not on. So now, if you're on Clubhouse, I got you. If you're on Facebook, I'm here. If you're on, you don't do any of that kind of stuff, you're on YouTube, guess what? We're over there as well. You're not going to be able to say, because God said in his word, he said he can't come back until the gospel goes to all the four corners of the earth. And so we've got to use all of these things to our advantage. And so we cannot even be afraid of technology, right? What if that's the way that God wants you to get before those great men and women? Take your place, all right? And don't walk in fear. So dig deep. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And how do you want to show up? All right. I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day. This has been your Momentum Monday. Go out there and be great. Go ahead and go out there. Start this week strong and end even stronger. Be blessed, everyone. Bye bye.